Chugga 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 ch. Choo choo. Keg Filet TCG.
It's a great day here at Keg Filet's YouTube channel. I am the Keg Filet behind the camera, but in front of me I have Alvaro, the champ, and he's bringing here. You guys already know from the thumbnail, the title, Foxy local winner deck profile. What actually inspired you to even like test this deck out?
I'm just a troll, and I was looking at just picking up a rogue deck because I normally do play blue. I love blue. It's probably my favorite color, but I hate mirror matches. So yeah, I was like, F it, I want to pick up another deck, something that's going to be fun. I love trolly rogue deck type stuff, and it's not as bad as people think. It's it's okay. Has some really bad matchups. I feel like if you don't see Katakuri, you're kind of good. That's the only matchup I haven't really cracked yet, but everything else I feel like it's decent. The Dofi matchup is a little bit more heavily on the Dofi side, but if you can get lucky, then you can scrape some out. So.
In the middle of 2009 in Japan, there was a lot of actually good Foxy action.
Yeah,
but that's
I took some inspiration from that too. Seeing some things from there, I was like, all right.
Yeah. I think they were actually playing it really, really well too, and I like the deck choices. And the purple's just so aggressive. In this meta we're at now, stunning, someone's leader and a character. I can see this doing pretty well against stuff, and I guess you've been doing some locals and stuff with it. You would to be fair with you guys, you probably went for 3-0 at
it was only 3 rounds. To be fair, it was only 3 rounds.
Yeah.
But shoot, give me another round, I'd probably still take it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what have you been normally facing? What have you been normally facing when you're playing this meta?
When I picked up this deck before locals, I was just playing a bunch on the sim, and to be honest with you, I was only trying to sim against Blue Dofi and Blackbeard, and then after a couple days, I went into like the Lucci, some yellow Shanks, like the black purple Luffy. There's like the red purple Luffy, which that deck is just pretty oppressive. Honestly, I don't know if that one's
6K later.
That one's pretty rough. But other than that, I feel like it does well. Lucci's pretty bad too.
Yeah.
They can just blow everything up. Doesn't matter how many pickles you put on there. So
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it. Well, let's go a little bit into the deck list here. On the side, guys, you'll see the deck list in its entirety generally. But what do you like to? What's a little different, or what's the main list? How would you explain it, this deck?
It's not too different from like the list that they were running overseas.
Okay.
Some of the ratios are off only because I don't own the card, or I just don't own the card. But
you have a few proxies because you borrow from friends.
But I do have.
You have the cards.
Proxies.
You're having the cards tonight.
Yeah, I just borrow them.
Okay.
Off of
well,
homies
let's go over the deck list. How would you? What's like the core of this deck?
Yeah. So I'll just start off with the 2K counters. So there's Gina, which is kind of a staple because she's Foxy Pirate.
Yep.
And if worst comes to worst, she's always super good at hold into your hand, kind of last resort 2K. Just in case you need to fill your board up to use your leader effect. These Buena Fiestas are supposed to be the 2K from the purple starter deck, the Usopp.
Yep. Okay, makes sense.
So I just have those in there because
Usopp?
I just usually shout out to homies, will usually let me just borrow a playset. Next is just a playset of the Kalifas, the purple Kalifas. I've never actually played her, but in my head I've always wanted to because...
Yeah, there's not a lot to do in the early game. You're just waiting to play the bombs.
And drawing 2, discarding 1's kind of goated. But I've thought about hard playing her at times. I haven't.
Okay.
That's it for the 2K counters, and then for spells, or for events, I played 2 of the Megaton 9-tail rush, which just lets you restand a Foxy card, or your leader, which is super goated. Only because if you can use your leader effect once, and then you can use it again if you restand your leader. So super late game if you realistically need to. I love doing this against Blackbeard. Is end game they have 2 Blackbeards on board that are standing up. You swing 5s with like your Porches and stuff. They're gonna drop their Blackbeards, and then you just stun both of them.
Yeah.
So then they just kind of don't do anything.
I like it.
Turn after. And then there's one slow beam. I've never played this card. I just have it in there because I like trolling. So
Okay.
I just figured. Now I can go into just the monsters for Foxy, which is pretty standard across like all Foxy decks. I play 4 choppers
Okay.
of the blockers, 2 cost. I play 4 of the goats. Itomimizu. This card is by far my favorite card in the whole game. I love its name. I love saying it. I love his homie too, Pickles, 4 of. If this card's on the board, none of your Foxy card pirates can be destroyed by card effects. So against black, it's super nice, but it's only a 3 cost, so they can just blow it up every time.
Yeah.
So it's more of like a bait thing. I'll kind of play it knowing they're going to blow it up anyways, but it just gets the removal out of their hand. So you can start going crazy with your Porche, which I play 4 of.
Yeah.
She's just super goated. Obviously, you want to play her in every Foxy deck. You don -1 and
Yeah,
get
and
to spam
your whole
the
deck's
board.
options, even
Yeah.
Kalifa or Bon Clay, right?
Yep. You can exactly the turn after. Let's say instead of playing your Pickles, but you have your Bon Clay and your Pickles on board, you can don minus with her.
Yeah.
Use her effect, and then play your Bon Clay.
Yeah.
Ramp a don into 3 drops. So
Yeah, I'm sure very often it comes up, but like playing that into any of these
Yeah.
cards, into Zuma, Tony.Chopper,
Yeah,
right?
It's super goated. And so yeah, and then 4 Bon Clays now.
It's,
I know
it's good. You're fine.
These
You
are
don't
my
have to
only
show 'em.
Foxies.
Yeah. So he's gonna have them
It's 4
tonight.
Bon Clays. Yeah, I'm gonna have them tonight. Bon Clays though, I feel like it's a good staple in a lot of purples right now, just depending on your playstyle. But I like kind of getting up to the high Dawn, so I play the 4.
Yeah.
I have 5 of the Eustass Captain Kid blockers.
Yep, for those, cool.
It's a goated blocker. Lets you just Dawn return 2 Big Bun. This is probably the most techiest card I have in the Foxy
That's
deck.
crazy.
I haven't actually seen anyone else play Big Bun. It doesn't do anything crazy, but if you have the same Dawn as your opponent, you can play 1 Foxy Pirate from your hand, a 4 cost or less. So a lot of the times it doesn't show up often, but I did get to use it once, where you don't have any ramp and your hand is kind of just really butt.
Yeah, that into like a Porche is actually pretty good.
So a Porche will set you up
And then the
next
leader
turn for your
skills
leader
good.
effect.
Yeah, that same turn even. Yeah.
And so then after that, I have 3 of the Sanji 7 drops. And then I play 4 of the Foxy, which is the best card in the deck.
Yep.
A lot of times, people don't like to read. So the the -1k attack on their turn is super OP, especially against Dofi. If you can get 2 on the board.
Yeah, the objective of the game is actually to make your opponent quit the game, and that's how you do it, right?
It's super cool. So yeah, I had 3 on board against a Dofi player on Friday.
They just lose. Yeah,
that was just rough for him. Yeah, and then I played 2 of the 9 drops Luffy's, which honestly I would run 3 of the 9 drops if I had a third 9 drop, and then just run 3 of the
but it's
2 of the 7
they're
drop.
both good.
But and honestly, late game being able to tap a 6 drop is mainly like a blocker half of the time, so it's pretty good. But yeah, the deck is super OP, super trolly.
Is there anything you like the Mulligan for normally when you're just?
It just I guess it really just depends on what I'm playing against. Against blue, I guess I really don't care what I see in my opening hand. I just want to see I just want to see Foxies.
Okay.
The main reason being is just that first effect, being able to -1k on all their characters. I just mainly worry about flooding my board super early, so that I know that by the time I get to 7 Dawn, I can just start freezing their leader, which is super OP against Dofi because it kind of messes up their stack if they've stacked.
Yeah.
Or they have to play around that.
Yeah. Are you usually keeping a hand if it always has like a Porche? Is that like what you're usually mulliganing for because you're trying to find Foxy?
Yeah, or Porche, yeah. Porche is
It helps
really
you
good
find Foxy, right?
Because you get to play her and then grab your Foxy and then play something else. So it kind of helps you keep tempo on there with Doflamingo as well. And then what usually ends up happening is if you can just kind of flood your board early and then start swinging into your characters early enough.
Yeah.
By your Dawn 7, you should be able to have at least 2 characters on board, drop
3
your
life.
7 drop, right? And then you can start freezing stuff. But against Blackbeard, it's just playing super aggressive because knowing that late game I can just freeze his Blackbeard, his 10 drops, which is the best thing in the whole world.
Yeah.
I honestly want to see this Megaton card in my hand. Okay. Just because of late, I want to just be able to freeze everything, and then seeing your rushers against Blackbeard super cool too. Usually they kind of grind you out early enough to where like late in that game they're not using their leader effect as much.
So you're trying to like actually eat them up with like your small
right. I'm just being super annoying with this deck, just freezing stuff, attacking them, freezing stuff again.
Yeah. I mean, do you usually hover around like the 7-8 non-taunt like the whole game?
Yeah. The only time I'm not using my leader effect is because I want to drop my 9-drop usually.
Okay. Well, they don't have 2 cards to freeze, but
right, or that, yeah.
Okay. Is there any advice you give to people trying to face this deck? Like, do they have to like choose not to swing with their leader a turn? Like,
just always remember that they want to have 3 cards in hand, because I've seen players just kind of think about it and not like swing into my characters and swing into my life. But honestly, it hurts me more because I want to have my bodies on board to be able to use my leader effect.
So swing into the characters at all times.
I'm
assuming you're not swinging with characters ever until you need to.
All right. I'll swing with my characters, like with my Porsches, if I know next turn, if I can replace that card that's being destroyed with another Foxy card, I'll swing out with them. And if I can't though, and I don't have it in hand, sometimes I'm a little crazy and I'll just like let it die, and then hopefully I draw into Foxy Pirate type stuff. But yeah, for the most part, I won't like swing out with them unless I know I can replace it with.
Got it. Yeah. Is there any changes you think you might be looking into for this rest of the set, for as far as the deck goes? Maybe taking out those big boys.
Maybe the big buns for sure. I'd get rid of this.
Okay. Yeah, maybe the slow beam too, potentially.
Yeah,
but honestly,
slow beam.
It's all kind of niche, and I think it's like 3 or 4 cards like off of like being perfect. But honestly, like 3 or 4 cards off being perfect is probably perfect.
Yeah,
right?
and
so
I've never used slow beam. I've used this guy's effects once or twice.
Yeah.
But
I could see people like reading that card and be like, what the hell? Did I lose because of this card? So
and a 6/7 it's all right. It's all right. I like this deck though. It's super fun. It's like I said, it's trolly. My kind of style, right up my alley, bro. I love being a troll.
Okay, well, that's a great troll of a deck profile. But yeah, do you have any like shout outs before you let us go?
Yeah, just shout out Brolic again. Shout out my wife again. Shout out Keck Filet. Make sure y'all are subscribing. Make sure you're getting that in. Make sure you comment. Let me know what y'all think about this deck. It's kind of really close to like what people are running overseas, but it's just, like I said, it's
cool.
Yeah, it's a fun deck, man. Y'all should at least try it out on the sim. I know a couple of times I've loaded into a game and people would just send me a hate message and be like, "Man, F you, I'm leaving." So
yeah. Okay, great.
It's nothing's a better feeling. But
great. Well, thank you again, Alvaro, for checking us out. You all at home, make sure you guys like if you're liking the video. Subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see you all in the next video. Ciao.